Well, the holidays are here, and while it can be a fun time, there are some hidden dangers. So today we're talking about choking hazards for kids. Dr. Sarah DeHolst with MultiCare joining us this morning. Good morning. Thanks for being here. So this is maybe not the most fun topic to talk about during the holidays. People want to talk about all the other things, but this is so important, right? Because kids are getting gifts, there's different food being served, and choking is a real serious thing, not just for adults, but kids too. So tell us what parents should know and families.
Right, all those little stocking stuffers, so cute, but often so many little pieces and not really age appropriate.
Totally.
So our biggest risk really is for those kids under the age of 3, any little pieces, anything that looks like a ball, looks like candy, balloons especially as well are a risk for choking.
You've been a doctor for quite some time now.
Yes.
What do you see most during this time of year?
I think little kids tend to put lots of things in their mouth that we wouldn't think of. Some of the other dangers in addition to choking are things that we just have lying around the house, those little button batteries that are in lots of toys, and magnets as well.
What happens if a child swallows something like that? That's terrifying as a parent.
So dangerous. Those button batteries really are an emergency. If you see that your child has swallowed one, that is an automatic emergency room visit. Magnets are tricky. If you swallow one, it's okay.
You have one, right?
I do.
You have a whole stack of them.
I do. And they're so fun, and they're so fun to play with and pretty. But what happens is if they travel down your intestines and they meet up with another one, they stick together and cause an erosion in your intestines.
At that point, what do? You have to go to the emergency room, right?
Yes, that is an emergency.
So if your child swallows something, what's the warning signs you need to look out for that it's maybe time to call a professional?
Certainly. So if there's vomiting, nausea, abdominal pain, or any airway issues, if we're salivating, it feels like we can't catch our breath, then we need to go in.
Okay, and tell us more about what else you have here. I see a toilet paper roll. I'm sure that's not a choking hazard, but it's a good visual representation.
It is. It's a great representation of anything that can fit through here does not belong in the hands of a 3-year-old.
Okay, good rule of thumb. So tell us more about some of the toys that pose a risk. You have some other things on here. Tell us why maybe some of these aren't the best things to have around maybe a 3-year-old or younger.
Right, this is so fun and pretty, but all of these little pieces are things that could be aspirated into the airway. So although it feels secure, over time these pieces degrade a little bit. The string degrades and these pieces can fall out. And kids tend to suck on jewelry, necklaces, bracelets, things like that.
I see. And tell us more about food now. What are some of the holiday foods that you see kind of maybe that could be yellow or red flags for kiddos?
Right. So I think every pediatrician cuts their children's grapes until they move off to college. Grapes are a big thing. They're the perfect airway size. So cutting those grapes into pieces, and then hard candies that we sometimes have laying around at the holiday time are the same size as grapes. Anything about that size, we need to be careful to really cut into pieces.
And then briefly, I want to talk about the adults now. We're having holiday gatherings and maybe they do choke on food. Talk to us about that. What do we need to be looking out for our friends and family? Right,
so sometimes those things we choke on are a little bit different as we get older. Steak, big pieces of meat that we just take a big bite and we don't chew entirely, that can get caught in the airway or in the esophagus.
Okay, Dr. Holst, thank you so much for being here with us this morning. And this is not the end of our conversation. We're going to be talking to Dr. DeHolst this weekend on Up with KREM. Join us for an in-depth conversation and a demonstration on what to do in case of an emergency. You can watch that weekend show on KREM 2 Plus, download on your TV and watch for free. Dr. DeHolst, thanks so much for being here.
You're welcome.